And it is Tuesday Tontest Tip Day. I I started saying I was going to do a contest tip on Tuesday. If you look at my calendar, which is available here, go to giveawayrocket.com/calfree, and you can see my calendar. I'm surprised nobody has popped on, so I'm just a little confused. But go to CalFree. We'll assume people are going to show up. And sign up so you know when I'm going to go live. There's some people showing up. Thank you. Bless you. Please pop in if you have a chance and comment. Tell me where you're from. Why do I ask that? Well, first I want to be friendly and let you know that I'm here. Oops. Hey, Ryan Wagglemans is here. Bless your heart. Thank you for popping in and commenting. Because why? Comments also help Facebook share my feed with other people. You can hear me, right, Ron? Just checking. This is my friend Astro. So, let's go back to the beginning, which is where I wanted to start today, and that is that today's Tuesday tip is that it is a marathon, not a sprint. Ryan's from Rotterdam. Bless your heart. It's late in the afternoon, isn't it? I'm reminded of this, it's a marathon, not a sprint, because what I've seen happen so many times when people start to do contests, and they hear people like me who say contests are going to rock your boat and you're going to change your life and you're going to gain so many leads. And they try it once and then they quit. It maybe didn't work the way they thought it was going to work, especially since they didn't come to me first and learn how to do it right. But I gotta go back and do this.
Oh my gosh, Mitch, do you hear yourself?
I do hear myself. And that's the fun of it, is that I know what I'm talking about. And it is a marathon, it's not a sprint. I mean, I was reminded also of Dory in the movie about the fish. What did she say? Just keep swimming. I mean, let's think about this. When you ran your first Facebook ad, did you run one and then quit? No. Do you take a class and say to yourself, well, I'm going to do everything that I learned in the class, and I'm going to do it tomorrow, the day after the class is over. And then if things didn't necessarily work out, do you quit? No. You go back and you learn, you experience things, you do them multiple times. And why people will run one contest and think that they're done is crazy. Now, let me give you an example. I'm working with David over at the Bunkie, right? I don't know if you've heard about this. And I don't have a pop-up for it, but if David has built his business on 3 contests. 3. He's in his 3rd year of business. He's running 1 contest a year. And he will tell you, in fact, let me switch over. That's not the one I want. It's, right? It's this one. That's not the one. It's this one. So let me make this one go away. So this is a bunkie, right? It's a cabin, a backyard log cabin. He calls it a bunkie. It doesn't have running water. It doesn't have toilet, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like an advanced camping trip. You buy it and you put it on your property. Now, this is the post that he made last year, right about now, February 1st, in the Up Viral group. And he said, happy to be part of this group. Last year, I did a giveaway where he gave away a $6,000 log cabin kit. It went viral and launched our business. Okay? I'm going back to what I started with. Let me pop this back up because it's important. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Now, in David's case, his campaign did really well the first time. If I remember correctly, he got 12,000 leads in his first campaign, and he sold, I don't remember, 10 bunkies. I don't remember how many. But he'd have to tell you the story. But what he does is he runs a contest and then he runs a sale immediately after for 2 days, 3 days. All right? So he did that. And last year he did it again. And he ran his giveaway in February when he posted that. And I helped him a little bit on that. And, oh, by the way, he said, ooh. After somebody asked him what was his success, he said, number one, Mitch's help, which is, I appreciate that. But he has a big offer, which I don't think is necessary for everybody else. But they focused on the likely to buy crowd, and they did 7 live streams that were an hour long. So David's working his tail off on this contest. But last year, when he did this, he did those 7 things, but he got 34,000 leads last year. And what does that turn into? Casherina. Because at the end, he sold $300,000 in stuff in his sale. His 3-day sale. He had revenue immediately following his contest. He does things right. You ought to be following this campaign. This year, we started a little earlier than February 1st. We've been running the Bunkie campaign for 7 days. Today's day number 7. Guess what? Da-da-da! Celebrate! Where's my celebrate? David's already surpassed the number of leads he got in his 28-day campaign last year. He's already surpassed the total number of leads in 7 days. Is this ringing a bell for you?
Oh boy!
Of course it is. David is kicking butt. Now, some of that's because of me, right? Pat myself on the back. But I'm learning so much from David. It's kind of like a win-win thing. And one of the things David is doing really well during this campaign is he's testing. He is split testing lots of stuff. I created a couple of split tests, and we've already turned those on because they weren't working well. I don't always do things right. But he doesn't quit. And most people, especially people that have really listened to some of the marketing, is that the marketing says, launch your campaign, create a giveaway, and it's going to go viral. You just have to sit back and do nothing. This is me sitting back doing nothing. Sorry. It's not true. You got to work it. And I'm not even taking my own advice. I have to spend time today going back and doing... I got another campaign running for Fuji running right now. And we had a big spike right at the beginning. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And now the traffic's dropped off to virtually nothing. I'm not taking my own advice. I was thinking this morning, man, I got to frickin' get busy on this. And look, I got a different camera. I'm going to switch. Look at that. Hi. I have a new computer. And you can see my really fancy window. I'm going to have to get some drapes on there. Right? Crazy. I love it. Anyway. It's, oh, let me do this. I don't have a function key for this yet. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I'm still there. It's a marathon, not a sprint. If you're doing marketing for your business, if you're running contests, if you're doing anything in your business, you got to keep at it. It's just not a miracle, hey, let's run a quick 100-yard sprint. 100 meters for those of you over in Europe. And you got to freaking run your business and keep at it. And you got to freaking run multiple campaigns. I've got 3 clients now starting up, and I've gotten them to commit to doing 1 campaign a month for several months, instead of many of the clients that I have that do 1 campaign and then they disappear and they don't come back. Maybe they run their campaigns on their own. I don't know. But typically, I haven't done a good job. I confess, I'm not perfect. I'm learning as I go, just like you are. If you have any questions, pop them in, because I'm going to answer questions. But if I don't get any questions, I'm going to hang up on y'all. Because I'm trying to keep this short. But I'm happy to answer questions. So the theme today is, I'll do it again. I wish I had a key set up for my thing. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And I hope that message is really starting to sink in. It's a great little quote. It's short. It's sweet. But you have to keep at it. You have to run campaign after campaign. This campaign that David's running for Bunky Life, it's simple, but he is adding stuff to it. We're going to do so many cool things. I'm adding to my notebook about really cool things that you can do. David's a smart guy. He's very creative. He's an artist. He's a musician. And he continues to add new stuff to the campaign. Why? Because it keeps it fresh. It keeps it alive. I mean, the campaign, frankly, I'm running for Fuji is kind of dead. Because they don't want to do Facebook Lives. They kind of just want the campaign to run and see what they get at the end. And I'm more like David, the example that everybody loves, is getting really busy. He is functioning. He is changing things constantly. He's sending out emails to people. He is jumping all over things. He's adding things to the site, taking things away that don't seem to be working. Ryan asked, is he doing a 7-day campaign or a 28-day campaign? Actually, this year it's 34 days. Last year he did it during the month of February. We started early and we're going to end early this time. He does this now in terms of planning, because those bunky things, right? I showed you. That's not the one. This one. Ooh. The image of the bunky. But he doesn't build those himself. He's a reseller, so he goes and buys them from a manufacturer and has them shipped to his warehouse in Ontario. And then when he does the sale, he's planning. He's doing this big sale here in February so that he knows how many to order and how many to be able to have ready when the summer comes, because they're in Canada, depending upon how you say it. And people over the summer want to get it built, so he's got to be able to deliver them in the summer. So this is highly planned. He wants to get everything set up and run and executed so that he has stuff that he can deliver to people this summer, and so they can build them. And by the way, this is only in Ontario, Canada. His goal, by the way, is for 105,000 leads. And guess what? We're ahead of that goal so far. If you look at the forecast with the software that I have, we're ahead of that goal by a bunch. Can we keep the momentum up? Well, David hasn't even done one of his 7 Facebook Lives yet. The first one comes up on the 30th, which is still a week away. But then he's going to hit it hard. David is superb at getting people involved in this campaign. He's referring, the referral side of it is bringing in more than the direct leads, because David knows what the heck he's doing. I love what David's doing. David was a case study for the UpViral folks last year. They cranked out an awesome case study. Actually, I didn't bring up the other thing. Let me do Restream chat, because when I do that, and you can't see it, that's okay. I can actually type in stuff through here. I can't do it in Ecamm. So I want to do, hold on, I'm sorry. So if you're watching, hopefully a comment just popped up for you that is the URL to the Bunky Up Viral case study. They did a fantastic job of creating this case study. Restream says that the campaign... Hey, speaking of David, there's David himself. David popped in and said, "Hi, Mitch." I was using you as an example, David. Shocker, I know. I know it's shocking, but David's doing such great stuff. So I'll go back and I'll say it again. If anybody has any comments, any questions, let me know, because I'm going to try to wrap this up. But David, the theme of the day is it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm using you as an example because you know what you're doing in terms of setting things up and redoing things and sharing stuff. Ryan says you didn't get the URL, huh? Well, I'll make sure to post it after, Ryan. Restream says it shared it, but I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to know, because I'm using Restream, and Restream is sending this to multiple Facebook pages. It's sending it to YouTube, so I'm doing a YouTube live, and it's also going to Twitch. But Restream has a checkbox next to the Facebook, so it says it sent it. But if it's basically upviral.com/bunky-life-case-study. BUNKIE. I really just need to set up. David says I'm not seeing it either. All right. So guess what? I can do, if I'm really, really quick, I can do. Let me just do this. I'll do this on the fly, right? But there's no background, Mitch. Let's put a background color. Background color purple. No, that's not the background color. It said background. Oh, I didn't put the checkbox. How about that? That still didn't do it. See what happens when you try to do something on the fly? What if I do that? That didn't do it either. Well, maybe you get the idea. If I do this, they all go away, right? No, that one goes away, but the other one doesn't. Oh. Well, okay, so Ryan says, so I've changed the text here, the color. I don't see David here inside the chat. Well, that's because David's probably in a different spot, because I'm using Restream to send to multiple places. I wish I knew how to do this properly on the fly. Why the background is not showing up? Purple background. No, I don't want purple. Maybe this will work. There you go. See, now I have too many things open. All right. upviral.com/bunky-life-case-study. David says, I'm definitely real. See, now I've changed that font. Dang it. I don't want that to be purple. This is having fun on the fly, right? Where's my white color? There's white. But see, now it doesn't have a background behind it. Dang it. I've messed it up. Oh, well. And I can make it really big. Background. Save. There you go. Whew. Now I got things covering me up. We know you're real. We know you're real. Anyway, anybody got any questions? If you want to see, by the way, I know David's here. If you want to see, and I need to get rid of that, and I need to get rid of that, and you certainly don't need to see this Restream chat window. There is David's website, bunkylife.com. And it's a simple entry box, but there's a whole lot of really cool information. Now, by the way, David, if you're still here, I showed this to a potential client the other day, and she looked at this, and she came back to me and said, "Holy cow, I want one of those things." David is doing a great job of using the landing page to explain, she said, what the campaign is and what the offer is and why you want it, which is the whole point, right? If you're like David, you want to sell these things. That's the whole point, right? You want to serve people with what your offer is. You want them to be excited about what you're doing. And so I was really thrilled to hear the feedback. Now, I had nothing to do with this landing page. David and his team, Heather and whomever else he has working on this, I gave him some feedback, but David crushed it in terms of this landing page. It's working really well because people realize what this is. Here's the environment, right? Put it in a spot on your property. Enjoy a nice sunset, right? And this slideshow, it is a great way of showing the winners, but it also is showing off how easy it is to build. So David's doing a great job of showing the people and how easy it is to build one of these. I mean, this young lady inside this, I mean, she's doing it all by herself. I mean, obviously some help, because there's a friend, but it doesn't look that hard, right? So even I could do it. And if even I could do it and get this great interior, and I love that right here, David says, the grand prize includes the bunkie kit, but not the deck, the furniture, the trees, or my wife's decor. I love that. David says, for those of you paying attention, because this is his campaign. Remember, David is the guy running this, the genius behind this campaign. It's converting cold traffic at 33%. The referring traffic is a little less, 23%. I continue to tell people, David, that referred traffic is cold traffic. I consider direct traffic, the people that are coming through wherever you're posting it, Facebook, Twitter, whether you send it to your email, posting it on your Facebook page, even running Facebook ads, the direct people, I consider, I don't know, a lot of them are cold because they've never seen or heard of you. But when you do Facebook ads, I'm going to turn my face back on. When you do Facebook ads, you're targeting it to your likely buyer. So even though they may not have seen your product, you're not getting typical cold traffic, right? People that have just stumbled onto you. So, see, David, I do have some smarts. That's a great point. I've never considered that. So let me reiterate for people that aren't necessarily totally grasping here. There's direct traffic, right? There's people that David is sending to the campaign. And then he's asking people to share, because what we want them to do is the viral side of things, is we want people to share to their friends and say, hey, look at this cool bunky thing. Wouldn't you love to have one of those in your backyard? Now, often there's even direct, what I consider direct referrals, right? That's the one-on-one where I call up my neighbor and say, hey, Betty, you really want to get in on this, right? And we have ways of sending people that through Messenger and email and stuff like that. So there's ways of doing the direct one-on-one. But if you are getting somebody to share on their Facebook timeline, for example, then that's getting to a bunch of people that are really what I consider cold. Because you have no clue who those people are on the planet that Betty's referring. I mean, those people have never seen the bunkie before. They've never even heard the concept, most likely. And so when they see that Facebook sharing image, that thing has to grab their attention, which David's, I think, does a good job of that. And then they come to your landing page that I showed just a minute ago. And on the landing page, they go, oh, that's cool. I want one of those. I get it. I understand it. I can do it myself, or I can have friends come over and help me. It'll be a fun weekend. We'll build it. I want one of those. Dang it. I want one now. And that's why David's campaign is so successful. Because, I mean, if you just study that landing page, like I mentioned, people get it. I mean, I have so many people come to me and they want to run a campaign. And we looked at one last week. If you go into my Facebook feed, you'll see the one I did last Thursday, I think. Absolutely simple landing page. But nobody understood it. Nobody understood what the offer was. There was nothing to convince people to sign up. And the gentleman posted in the Upfire group and said, well, my thing's not converting. I don't get it. I love the product. But people weren't understanding it. David does a fantastic job of getting people to understand the offer. Now, when he gets starting the Facebook Lives, if you're watching, David does awesome Facebook Lives because he even explains, like, there's one that he will do that is about Airbnb. I have to think about that name. Because David is renting out his bunkie on Airbnb, and you could actually make money. So you might spend $9,000 buying one, but David shows you how to make money off the thing. David says, I guess cold and warm is a spectrum. Yeah, ultimately that's true. Also a good point, because some of the people that are referred could be Betty getting on the phone going, hey, Jane, you and I talked about that vacation spot, that land, that you got. Here's something you could put on there that's better than a freaking tent. So those people would be warm, even though they're referrals. Which is also why David's referrals convert really well. I think because some of that direct one-on-one communication. Ryan, attention in the feed, interest on the landing page. Ring the bell for Ryan. Yes, sir. You got it, baby.
Oh boy!
That is right on. You gotta grab their attention in the social media feed. And once they are willing to click, And I can't tell you how many people ask me about, oh, I'll just shove out a social media image. I wish I could show you the one the client showed me yesterday. And it was, like, first thing you have to do if you're creating your social sharing thing is take off your I know what the hell I'm doing hat. And think about that if you are flipping through on the phone. Does that image grab my attention enough to get me to stop and click? And if it doesn't, you got to go back and build it again. David says, I like your Betty and Jane impersonations. I'm like you, David. I'd like to do a little bit of entertaining with my Facebook teaching, right? I gotta catch up here. There's been some conversation going on. Desire and action on the Facebook Live. Absolutely. I mean, Ryan, you gotta tune into David's Facebook Lives. You gotta sign up for the contest and lie. David, pretend I. But I mean, you know that there are people that are watching that are going to go to the campaign and they're going to sign up just because they want to see what the hell you're doing. It's just a little bit. And once you go worldwide, man, people are going to be buying these things like lightning. Ryan's going to be a billionaire. Not Ryan, David. Maybe Ryan too, because Ryan's here learning. Are referrals usually less than direct? Yes. I'll answer that simple question with a yes. Most people really, really struggle getting referrals. The client that I was talking about just a minute ago with the social sharing image, she ran a contest last year, which I helped her with, but anyway, it didn't work as well as I wanted. But she did not have the incentives, and we went through this yesterday in great detail, because she was like building a new campaign for this year, and I'm like, let's look at what happened last year. Let's find out what worked and what didn't work last year before we talk about what's going to happen this year. And we went back, and she brought in 1,000 leads. So she was happy with the results at the time. It's not about the big numbers, always. I'm laughing at a comment that just came in. It's not always about the big numbers. It's about finding people that are very interested. And David is crushing it. We talked about that earlier. But if in her situation she brought in 1,000 leads, but her referred leads was only 100, she got 10% of her leads were referred. And I said, look, in terms of, you got new leads, you did great, and you only did one contest last year, so you failed on that. But that campaign did not do, I'm trying to answer this question. Her campaign was typical because she did not focus on engagement. She didn't ask people to share, other than she put up the share page and said, hey, by the way, you can get some extra chances to win. It was not energetic. It was not exciting. And I mean, it's a small prize. It's not my hair. It's not big and exciting like David's prize, but it's very valuable product. And everybody needs them. In fact, David, I was showing her your campaign, and she's like, "Can I rent David's list once he gets this?" She said, "I want to send people to David's list because David knows how to work them." I'm like, "That's not the point. It's not about his people. It's about how he does it and how he engages with them." So she and I are going to work on her campaign, and I mean, I've told David this before. People come to me, they see the case study that I shared earlier, And they said, well, I want to be like David. And I said, all right, are you going to do 7 Facebook Lives over the next month? Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then they don't do it. And they don't show the energy. They don't change things through the process like David does. I know David just added a new custom action. I don't know if it's showing on the forums yet, but I saw it in the points today. We got to think of things to keep people engaged, because if you add a new custom action, guess what? That gives you the ability to send an email and say, hey, everybody that's entered, here's another chance, another way of earning additional chances to win. And oh, by the way, if you share and bring people on, you're going to get more points. You're going to get more chances to win. So go talk to your friends. David crushes this. And most people do what the marketers say. Put your contest out there and it's going to go viral. Here.
Danger!
Oh, that was loud. No. Anybody that does anything that's viral, the viral things are just pure luck. The videos that get posted and 1 million people watch it, that's just pure luck. It's not that they worked hard on that. I mean, they may have worked hard on the video. I'm not saying that, but it's not like they're constantly promoting it. With marketing, you got to constantly promote it. You got to constantly encourage people to do more stuff. Because they're going to get busy and they're going to go do their own lives. And Jane and Betty are going to stop calling their friends. But if they don't get an email, or if they don't sign up for David's Facebook posts on his page, and if David doesn't keep putting stuff out there that says, hey, we're going to do a Facebook Live this week, and it's going to be on how to do an Airbnb and make money. And people suddenly go, what do you mean make money? I'm going to live in this thing, but I don't want to maybe I could make money off of this. Holy cow. David's crushing it. And y'all got to get out there and do the work. And I'm going to go back to it. How I started this. It's a marathon. David knows it's a marathon, not a sprint. Now, the time that the contest is running is certainly a sprint, but he's planning his business. He's building it year round. Oh, David, you're so funny. Let me turn this off. And here's what happens when you start going live on other places like Twitch. Want to be famous? Buy followers. Oh, okay. David said that I'm laughing about. I can't believe Jane and Betty would do such a thing to us. Oh, you're so funny, David. I love you. All right, nobody's asking any questions, so my intent was not to chat for 4 hours. I can do that if people ask questions. These have been good questions. Thank you very much, Ryan and David, asking things. So I'm giving you like the 30-second warning. Oh, Siri thinks I want to talk to her. No, Siri, not now. Not now, girl, not now. I have a new computer, and I have it set very bright. And so I'm kind of learning that I have to turn down the brightness, because otherwise I get really washed out. And it's blue light, and it's not warm yellow light. So I'm wrestling with that. I love my new iMac. It's very nice. Oh, David. Great question. What's the best practice for testing share pages? Well, and share pages can be very different than landing pages. In terms of split testing, David, you've got great traffic to be able to do lots of different split tests. But what I have learned is that, and I did a poor job of it, obviously, with the ones that I set up for you. To do really good split testing, and you probably have heard this and you probably know this, but what they tell you to do is to just change one thing. So if you have a share widget, don't change it radically and add 5 different phrases, because you don't know which one of those things is the thing that either worked or didn't work, right? And so with the kind of traffic you have, because a lot of people say, well, I want to do a split test, and 100 people came through both pages, and so I'm going to pick a winner. And, the difference might be just 3 or 4%. And I've watched these split tests, like for different campaigns that I've done. And if you look every 2 or 3 hours and there's just slight traffic, then you don't really get to understand, because the percentages can fluctuate. How's that? People will react differently. And so you really, they tell you, those people that are split testing experts tell you, you need to run at least 1,000 people through each version of a page and change one thing, change one word, so that you really can understand whether that one change made a difference. And typically what we do is we'll go, okay, here is template Toronto, and here's template Bangkok, whatever the right names are, and they look totally different. So does that really help you understand which one is better? The answer is no. I won't forget my friend Tom Matson taught me. He taught me several things. But one of the things he taught me was that if somebody sees the word to, TWO, and the other option is the number, the numerical 2, when they see it, the word 2 will convert higher than the number 2. Testing has shown that people feel that number, when it's spelled out, is bigger than the numerical version. You with me? So we're talking about the difference between TWO and the number 2. If you want people to convert, you spell out TWO. But that all changes once you get over 10. All right, so we're talking about single digits. But the only way to find that out is to do a split test over lots of data. Now, one of the other ones that I read recently was the spam message. This guy did testing with like 10,000, 20,000 people on a spam message on a sign-up form. And the first one said, "We will not spam you." And the other one said, "We will protect your email." And the one that said the word spam in it got horrific conversions. The only thing he changed was that phrase. And I don't remember the exact phrases, so don't quote me on this. But he surmised that what people did in their head was they saw the word spam and they said, "Oh, I don't trust it." Even though it said, "not spam you," they saw the word spam and they backed off. So that kind of split testing is really crazy, interesting stuff. But what we typically do is we say, all right, I'm going to make this change on a page, and then we don't have enough traffic to really adequately split test, and we make decisions based on that. And Now, sometimes the difference, like David turned on the double opt-in and he said the conversions dropped 70%. I know that one. That one's an easy one because double opt-in will crush you. So it doesn't take very long to figure that out because that was a massive difference. The pink elephant theory. I'm going to have to look that up, Ryan, because I'm not sure that I understand that story. Now, if I had things set up and I could just invite you on, you could tell me what the story was, but I don't have things set up that way. Probably, I don't know, I'm not going to try to guess. And I'm not sure I really totally answered your question. What's the best practice about testing share pages? But that's, hopefully that answered your question, David. Change the little things. Or, that's not what I mean. Let me rephrase that. Change them in small increments and see how it goes. Which goes back again to my initial point. Thank you very much for tying that in. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And split testing is definitely one of those things. You have to give it time to marinate. The pink elephant theory. Thank you, David. The pink elephant theory. Tell someone, don't think about a pink elephant. Don't think about a pink. What are you thinking of? Yes. I get it. Yes. Spam. You're going back to the spam thing. So, yeah, I get you. Thank you. Anything else you want to ask David or Ryan or whomever's still here? What do you like my lamp back there? That used to be over there, but I took it out. If you don't care. Of course you don't care. That lamp's going out somewhere trash-wise. Damn, today's trash day. I should have taken it out. I'm stalling. See, I actually found this web camera in a box when I was looking for some cords. And I have two monitors. And so sometimes, like when I'm doing a Zoom call, I take all of the screen. Hi, Kevin. I didn't know you were here. I take all the screen stuff that the client doesn't need to see, and I put it over there, like the Zoom stuff, and then I end up talking to them over there. But my main camera's over here, and so I was like, I'm gonna put that over on that monitor, so that while I'm talking to them, I'm talking more face to face. And then I can switch over to this one. I don't have the keyboard shortcut set up to do that yet, but I will do that. But so I just got a new monitor yesterday. Kevin's here. Kevin Gallagher, thank you for the info. You're welcome. Hopefully that serves all y'all. Now you're going to reference something that I don't understand, just like the Daily Show. What, the switching cameras? See, I definitely have to have a keyboard shortcut for this because I don't right now switch cameras easily. Or my Stream Deck. So David, if you didn't catch the beginning, by the way, I shared this. This one. David's probably, if he's still here, David, if you're still here. I didn't tell you this, but when I saw this, my eyes lit up. And I'm going to use this, whether you like it or not, if I have your permission, because people don't realize the power of giveaways like you do. Because they don't do them right in the first place like you do. And they don't nurture the list after they get them. I worked with a client back in November, and he came to me and he said, I want to be like the Bunky guy. I want to be like the Bunky guy, because he's read the case study. And thank you, Ryan. Yes, camera set up, talk to the mic. I like having that camera there. I was going to put it up over on the wall somewhere. But anyway, this client came to me and said, I want to run a campaign. I want to do it just like the Bunky guy. I want to do Facebook Lives, and we're going to crush it, and blah, 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 blah. And he had seen the Up Viral case study. He's like, I want to be like the Bunky guy. But when I started talking to him, I said, well, what are your goals? When I create, working with a new client, when I'm working in training people, so if anybody wants to do training, by the way, here's a plug, right? I got so many keyboard shortcuts now. I got multiple ones. I got to get to the right one, and I don't always get to the right one, but I do have a training calendar. Oh, the free calendar is there. But I also, oops, I did that too fast. There's the training calendar one. If you want to get on that. I'm kind of anticipating doing more training in February. I've got a lot of ideas, and so that's coming up. So this client came to me, and he said, I want to be like the Bunky guy, and I want to do Facebook Lives and all that. And so we talked about goals, and I do that, like I said, part of my new class is going to be on planning, which David does a great job of planning. So I talked to him about what he intended to do with all these email people, and I said, well, I don't know. I know I need to build an audience. I said, so what's your email open rate? I don't know. So how many emails did you send out last month? 1. I said, I'm struggling here without saying cuss words and stuff, but why do you want to run a contest if you don't frickin' know how to sell to them once you have them? He's like, oh, I'll just send some emails about sales and stuff. But wait, time out. You gotta know how to sell to people on your email list if you're going to build an email list. I went ahead and we worked together and we ran a campaign, and I think we got some good numbers. They weren't great numbers. They weren't David numbers. But he didn't do the Facebook Lives like he said he was going to do. He didn't have the energy to do what needs to be done like David does. And all he's sending out in the emails is buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. And I'm like, I told him, you got to educate people. You got to make them warm and fuzzy. If you don't know how to sell to them later, if you don't know how to educate them about why they need your stuff, they're not going to buy your stuff. David does that. David shows people how to do the stuff. 53 minutes into broadcast that I was only going to do 10 minutes, but I've loved the questions you guys have been asking. Great questions. And great comments like the pink elephant. You're right. Absolutely right. I'm scrolling back through the comments to see if I missed anything. Jane and Betty. It's actually Betty Lou. Sometimes I just say Betty, but her name's really Betty Lou. Kind of like Astro. People are like, why do you have a stuffed animal on your thing? Well, Astro, I do call myself Planet Mitch. I do a lot of planet stuff. Give away Rocket. You see the title right there. So Astro is from the Jetsons, right? So that's not it. Oh, see, that's the wrong one. I have an image of the Jetsons, but I lost the Jetsons intro. Is this it? This is my space theme.
3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff!
See, I'm still stalling in case any of y'all have questions before I go. Questions? Questions? Anybody?
Roger, 0J, and I feel fine.
Is that really loud on your end? It sounds really loud to me, but I have headphones on. Who knows this?
Does not compute.
Who is that? Anybody got any knowledge about who that is?
Does not compute.
It's from an old movie. Alright. You got 20 seconds before I sign off. Loud yes. Thank you, Ryan. I'll fix that. It does show as loud, because I can see over on the thing. 10 seconds. I'm about to say goodbye. Goodbye. Where did they go? There they are. I really appreciate all y'all tuning in and talking to me today. Remember, by the way, that there's a training calendar. There is... Go sign up for the Bunkie contest if you want to learn how to really do it right. Go get the case study. Can I pop that up really fast? There's the link for the case study. The Up Viral people. Go over there to that link and study the hell out of it. Because David has given you so many nuggets. David has put so much information in there. Ryan says, I gotta turn this one off manually. Sorry. Thank you for adding the calendars. I can't promise on the free calendar that I'm always going to show up every day. Sometimes I get interrupted. I've been trying to update the calendar if I'm not going to show up, if I know I'm not. And the training calendar probably has nothing on it yet because I haven't built it, but thank you for signing up for those. And I need to do this. I mean, if you haven't seen this one, I got an email that comes daily tips on how to run better campaigns. Go to giveawayrocket.com/365 and sign up for that, Ryan, while you're in the mood. giveawayrocket.com/365 and you can get on that daily email. People that are on it absolutely love it. I'm getting really good feedback, getting really big open rates on that because people are like, oh, I want to see that every day. But thanks for tuning in. I appreciate the heck out of all y'all for commenting and asking questions. And if you have any questions, of course, you can put them in the comments. I'll get to them later, and we will see you again later this week. Because I know I'm on the free calendar for this week. So sign up, and we will see you again soon.